Hello everyone, Lock Power here. In this video, I'm going to talk about BlizzCon and one of the bigger announcements they had regarding the classic World of Warcraft servers. This is going to be a listening video, so please feel free to do something else while I kill world bosses. Anyways, I hope you enjoy. I think it's safe to say that no one was expecting this announcement since Blizzard banned the largest classic private server ever known as Nostarius roughly a year ago. With the popular vanilla server in its grave, everyone thought that that would be the last they would hear about legacy servers. But we were wrong. You think you want it, but you don't. The response a BlizzCon attendee got at the AMA panel at last year's BlizzCon regarding Blizzard-sanctioned private servers from executive producer J. Allen Brack. Now 1 year later at BlizzCon 2017 actually being the one to announce the development of Blizzard-sanctioned legacy servers doesn't quite sit well with me. I don't for a second believe that Blizzard had zero progress or knowledge that they were not working on legacy WoW servers. If it was supposed to be a joke or a ruse to throw the community off the trail of what was going to be announced at this year's BlizzCon, it wasn't funny. Next thing I want to talk about is the history of World of Warcraft Classic to about Cataclysm. I started playing in Burning Crusade in early 2008, so I didn't actually get to play Classic in all its glory. I was pretty close though. Back then, no one was complaining about class changes and changing game mechanics so heavily as now since it was still a new game. WoW would stay mostly untouched until the arrival of Cataclysm, when many of its old game mechanics and the old world would leave us forever. Flags that go off in my head for game changes are the Warlock Soul Shard system, Hunters not having to use ammo, and not having a dead zone. In case anyone doesn't remember or doesn't know what Hunter dead zone is, back in WoW's younger days, Hunters had a minimum range where their bow or gun could not fire. I believe it was 5 yards to give an estimate. Also, wands and librams being discarded and replaced with nothing, and the revamped talent system. Those are just a few examples. Next up will be how I think the legacy server will function and evolve with the community and alongside its live counterpart. I think when the legacy servers launch, they will progress at a slightly faster rate than how they did in 2004. We aren't the same gamers back in 2004, and neither is our gaming hardware. Leveling will be much slower than retail, but when endgame hits, I think the majority is just going to steamroll through it. And yes, I did say they, so I believe there will be more than one classic server per region. Here comes the sticky situation, the payment method. Does Blizzard charge an extra $15 to its customers for a retro WoW account? Will I really have to pay $30 every month just to play both versions? Here's why my gripe with MMOs boils over. I can turn my computer off, go set up my Xbox One and play the Halo Chief Master Collection and play any of the games from the first trilogy like the day they were released, and not pay a subscription fee. Two different games and genres, so I'll stop right there. Will there be a bundle package associated with a live version of World of Warcraft? Here's my take on it. We're going to continue to pay $15 for our live World of Warcraft account, and when the classic retro servers launch, there will be a shop option to bundle the two together for an extra $5 fee. I would be more than happy to pay $20 a month to have two full-fledged versions of the same game I play so much of. All I can say is that I hope Blizzard doesn't expect players to fork over $30 a month just to play both. What I'm really hoping for is for Blizzard to do legacy servers is to listen to community feedback and implement anything they scraped from back then that the community enjoys and bring it back updated and ready to go to live servers. Maybe we'll get the old talent point system back on live. Anyways, on to the main topic. Community wants, wishes, and desires. World of Warcraft is such an expansive game with so many nooks and crannies that it's almost impossible to keep track of it all over the years, gameplay-wise and world-wise. For the final part of this video, I'm going to discuss what I and I think most of the community want to return, and what we want to stay out of the legacy version of the version in the current WoW. So this is basically going to be quality of life changes versus quality of gameplay. Here we go. Should hunters use focus or mana in classic legacy WoW? Mana. Yes, hunters used to use mana. These are the type of gameplay questions I expect Blizzard to be bombarded with in the next coming year. Should hunters use ammo and warlock soul shards return as they were in vanilla, or should they be integrated upon? Leave hunter ammo as it was in classic. Warlock soul shards should be changed to 20 stacks per bag slot. A 200 stack would be too much. Casuals and newer World of Warcraft players will want LFG and LFR to do we cave in and implement them into Classic. I'm just going to say no on this one, but I wouldn't put it past Blizzard to put it in sometime down the road. Maybe when Blackwing Lair opens, Molten Core LFR will open, but I don't want to give Blizzard any bad ideas. Should summoning stones be put at the start of the game? Warlock population will increase and be most welcome if it isn't. People will still be lazy and need to be dragged through the nether if the summoning stones were in place. The life of a warlock. But yes, I personally think it should be put at the start. Call me casual if you want. This is just the I walk 5 miles uphill both ways in the snow situation. It'll fix itself in time. Newer WoW players may complain that mounts aren't attainable at level 20. Thoughts? Let them. Let them also complain about the gold cost. Next. Should flight paths be updated? Apparently you had to stop and go to every flight path. I was not aware of this. There were also fewer flight paths, I believe. This is probably not debatable, but I'm going to say yes. I would want them to stay the same and be updated accordingly. Should BGs and Gurubashi Arena be added right away? I would hope so. Terran Mill is going to get boring fast. Should AoE looting make its way into Classic WoW? No, there won't be a need because you won't be cleaving down 5 to 10 mobs at a time. You'll be lucky to survive 2 at a time. Should kiting bosses to cities make a comeback? I like this one. I'm going to take the cynical stance on this and say yes, as I summon Infernals and Doom Guards to wreak havoc on my major city. So I'm probably going to play a Warlock. I'm not sure though. How will the subscription model function? $5 added on Feed Alive is my guess. Another $15 seems steep. Should action camera be in vanilla? Should action camera be in vanilla? I hope so. I love that feature. Here's another good one. Should monks, death knights, and demon hunters be in classic? I personally don't see any hope for demon hunters. Death knights, I could barely see an argument for them. I would love to see a nerfed down version of monks in classic, but that's just me, I guess. Wishful thinking, but probably not. Hope so though. Should auction houses be linked? Yes. And finally, should servers be cross-realm? On one hand, you get a larger pool of players, but lose server community. On the other, you have a smaller population, longer queue times, but everyone knows you. I think it'll be server-based and not cross-realm. These are just a few questions I gave myself that I think Blizzard will have to ask the community on their opinions. If you have any more questions or concerns, please feel free to comment below and go join the WoW forums to discuss this further. Please voice your opinions. Thanks for listening and have a nice day.